Welcome. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at this BougeRV 200W portable solar panel. So this is provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description. And if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost anything extra. So this has an IP65 waterproof rating. It has a 25% efficiency rating. Model number on this is FS200W. So let's get this open. It's a little big to unbox here on my bench, so I'm going to get it out of the package and pull it up here. So here we have the panel. It had foam blocks on the side, and I opened it at the top and I was able to grab the handle to get it out. So let's unzip the pouch. Here we have a manual. Let's take a quick look at it. Now I'm not going to cover everything in here. You want to read through it on your own. So this is the 200-watt model. It comes with a solar charge cable, 1.6 feet, in the manual. This shows how to use it. So you unfold the stand. This can connect up to portable power stations and batteries. This has an XT60 and a DC7909 adapter. The native adapter on this is the MC4 connector. You can do series or parallel connection. This is showing connecting it to a battery. So in this case, it goes into a solar charge controller and then a battery. So the two things you might connect it to would be a solar charge controller and a battery, or a power station, which has its own solar charge controller built into it. And here we have specs. So maximum power on this is 200 watts plus or minus 5%. Now there's lots of variables involved with solar. So I tend to find with solar panels, you're not going to typically get up to that max, but different factors can be things like the weather, how far you are from the equator, angle of the solar panel, but that's going to be the max amount for the panel. Then we have the amps, voltages, and other specs here. You can pause and read through those. Here we have the dimensions. When this is a Q&A, this talks about can you reach the maximum power, and we have technical support. So this comes with a cord on the back with MC4 connectors. So that's kind of the standard solar connector. And then we have a cable here from MC4 to the XT60 and the 7909. Now there are many different connectors on portable power stations, so this may not meet your needs and you may need to get your own adapter, but that's not an uncommon thing to have to do. So this has a handle on it, and these magnet together right now. So if I pull them apart, I can feel the pull of the magnet. There's actually a little icon here for the magnet. And here we have the fiberglass reinforced solar panels. And on the outside we have a waterproof fabric. It's very durable. These are the legs. So these are held on with hook and loop fastener. And then we have straps with elastic here to kind of help them pull in. So when we go outside, this will mount on the ground like so. Now if you're putting this on concrete, you leave it as is. If you have it on grass, you could actually stake it down if you're concerned about wind blowing it over or something. So this has one leg here, has one on the other side. There's hook and loop between the panels, and we have one here and here. So it looks like each section of the panel has a leg. So that will give it really good support. So to get good efficiency, we want to aim this well. A good technique for aiming a solar panel is to place an object. I like to use a can, place it against the solar panel so it's touching the solar panel, and then you want to adjust the panel until there's no shadow. That way you know the panel is perfectly perpendicular with the sun. So I just wanted to go over this on my bench. Next we'll take this outside. It'll probably be a different day. It's actually snowing right now. And we'll get this set up and test it out. Okay, so we're currently in my garage. I'm just going to set things up in here because it's very cold and windy out right now, but I'll move it outside after. So I have a BougeRV fridge here. Now I made a video on that. If you'd like to see that, I'll put a link below in the description. I have a 1000 watt-hour battery. Now this is currently at 59%, and this has been running for 2 days. So it's used about 20% of the battery per day. So let's get the solar panel set up. Okay, so I unfolded it and I put the legs down. Here it is from the back side. So we want to access the wires, which are over on the left side here. So let's get this open. So I have the MC4 leads coming out of here, and I just kind of zip this up around it. So I have the adapter cable, and my power station that I'm using today doesn't use these two connectors, so I'll just actually put this back too. My power station uses an Anderson connector. So I have an MC4 to Anderson cable adapter. Now I also have this extension cable I made. It's an MC4 extension cable, and I made this using the BougeRV MC4 crimp kit. So I'll put a link below to that. So I think this is around 30 foot, so I'm going to use this too. Now you can buy or make your own extension cable, and you don't necessarily have to have one. It's just that I'm going to be leaving my battery and fridge inside, and the solar panel in the sun. And if you're, say, out camping, it's not a bad idea to keep your battery and fridge under a picnic table or in the shade, and then have your solar panel out in the sun, and sometimes using an extension cord can make that easier. So I'll plug the solar panel into the extension cable. I'll plug the extension cable into my adapter, and I can plug this into my power station. Now there's enough light coming through so it recognized that there was a solar panel connected, but there's no input on it. So I'm going to move the solar panel outside, and then we'll check this out. Okay, so I have the solar panel set up here. It's quite windy, so this is facing the sun. Let's go see what kind of charging we're getting. So we're currently getting around 168 watts. So that's very good. So it's showing 3 hours until we're fully charged. Now since it's windy, I'm going to position the panel up against my garage door. Now if I was out on grass, I would probably just stake it to the ground. So I may lose some of my efficiency, but that's not a big problem for me. And I'm not sure how much sun we're going to have today, so we'll just try this out. Now if we want to aim this, one thing you can do is you can take a cylinder and place it on the panel so you can see the shadow of this. It's mostly in the sun. It wouldn't hurt if I tipped the panel up just a little bit, if I wanted it perfectly perpendicular, but this is not too bad. Okay, so now this is at a more steep angle to the sun. Now the sun is going to move and it will be more efficient here shortly. There's a little bit of shadow here in the upper right corner. That will go away, but hopefully this will keep it away from the wind a little bit. Now even at the incorrect angle, I'm getting 127 watts charging. Now if this was just a 100 watt panel, I'd probably get about half that. So that's a pretty good charge rate out of this. Now it's hovering right around freezing temperature. So if I was actually camping or something, I'd probably keep the battery in the car to keep it above freezing, and the solar panel is fine at that point. So let's let this charge up for a bit and we'll come back and check it. Okay, it's about an hour later and the input is jumping around. It's gotten up to about 180, so that's very good. The sun is a little higher in the sky right now, and we're at 73%. And the fridge is plugged in, so sometimes it kicks on, and when it's on, it draws about 25 watts. So the solar input is definitely keeping up with the fridge itself, but it's also recovering the energy used from the past 2 days of running. Okay, so it's been around 6 hours from when I started this. It's 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I started this at 10 a.m. We're currently at 98% on the battery, and charging is down to 28 watts. So it became kind of overcast earlier in the afternoon, and this dropped to around, say, 50 watts of charging. It was going up and down. Now I could have moved my panel around, but I wanted to have kind of a real life test. Now the nice thing about this being a 200 watt panel is that even in the overcast, you can still get some charging. So I'm still getting around 28 watts. Now if this was a 100 watt panel, I might only get 15 watts of charging. So being a larger panel is really an advantage when you don't have as much sun. Now this was also powering the fridge while it was charging, and that's running right now. It just kicked on and it's running at around 30 watts. Drawing from the battery. So if this fridge was not plugged in, it might have charged up all the way. But I wanted a scenario, if you went camping or something, had this plugged in to the fridge, you could charge it. So, and again, this had 2 days of running the fridge on the battery. So I have no doubt that you could plug the fridge into this and that solar panel, and if you had some decent sun, you could keep this battery powered enough to power the fridge continuously. So I moved this over to my other garage door. It was over here to the left. It still has a little bit of sun here, but I'd say this worked very well. So now that I'm done, I can fold this up and easily stow it away. And it has that nice pouch on the back so I can store the cords in it. So that's the BougeRV 200 watt portable folding solar panel. If you're looking for a folding solar panel, I would definitely check this one out. At 200 watts, you're going to get twice the charging of a smaller 100 watt panel, but the panel itself is not that much bigger once you fold it up. This would be great for camping or for power outages. You could put this out in the sun, connect it to your battery, and you could run small appliances with this. I was very impressed with the output of this. The most I saw out of this was 191 watts, which is only 9 watts off of the maximum rating of 200 watts. And that's pretty impressive because I'm somewhat north in the world. The further you go towards the equator, the more efficient charging you could even get out of this. Now this comes with the MC4 connectors, the 7909 and the XT60, but you can easily get other adapters to fit your power station. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.